everyone? Happy Day is back, and we are actually playing a new game called Little Red Lie. Let's actually, the way I see it, dystopia is nothing but a distraction from the reality that it will be even worse. In dystopia, faceless stormtroopers tower over the horrified masses as they cling together for warmth. The guardsmen grit their teeth and pull their triggers on throngs of desperate protesters, cutting down waves of innocence with sinister certainty. But reality is nothing like that. In reality, the police don't need to be scary to scare you. In reality, the courts are so clogged and the cops are so callous and the cages so cramped that the thoughts of getting lost in the labyrinth with their logistics scare you more than a bullet in the back of the head ever could. In reality, no one needs to shoot you at all. You get knocked on your ass by a $1 zillion sound cannon and run away to save the eardrums. You don't have the savings or the health insurance to lose. In dystopia, tattered rags and drab uniforms are dully worn by all. Met eyes and encouraged gestures are made in shadows, the steel doors crushed together. Ragtag rebels rediscover the unity of lost long ethnic identities. In each other they find hope, strength, and even their failure is assured. In dystopia, they gain one thing by tormentors they can never possess: love. But in reality, the only people who notice you are strangers trying to look down your shirt. In reality, your best friend is a cell phone, a good one, if you're lucky. In reality, you never cared about the other people until the other people were like the other people like you, and you put them up the river if they crashed on your couch longing for a weekend. And who can you blame? In dystopia, it's easy. In dystopia, the evil and cruel are always up the hill, down the dungeon, through the woods. They want your blood. They want your babies. They want your brainwaves, or the shells of your bodies, the heat of your sexy, starry sacrifice. But in reality, it's never that interesting. In reality, even the most horrible and seemingly incomprehensible power always ends up being the same old song. A bunch of assholes trying to get rich. In reality, the people frantically obsessed with money are no those people at all. In reality, the people whose lives revolve around money are the people who have no choice. And in reality, the wealthy no longer need a thing from anyone else at all. Not to die in some war, not to live in some place, not to build some robot that has to be built in the time you took to read this sentence. In dystopia, all of our creations midnight oil into hateful sun, diseases boiling through the skin, faces rendered tragically unfuckable. The destruction of Mother Earth turns everyone into a chimney sweep, a hooded nightmare, and an asphyxiating tinker. This is interesting, guys. But in reality, the sky is blue as ever. The air is crisp. In dystopia, your only possession is a torn photograph. You end up bartending at a neon-soaked nightclub for futuristic gangsters. But in reality, you could never get that job. And if you were forced to become an outlaw yourself, you'd probably end up being the victim of far worse crime than you ever could bring yourself to commit. In dystopia, you finally matter. You're finally gonna make a difference. Every oppression ignites you with anger and fear that spurs you into a legendary action. But in reality, you are exhausted. Forever exhausted. You think dystopia is some big story. It's not. It's a shitty little epilogue that goes on forever. And it all ends up in nothing. Oh, it looks like we're finally actually getting into the game. That was a very long intro. Winter. So I guess this is taking place in dystopia. I'm sorry if the under the bridge in the parking lot they're waiting for me. Okay. So move with up, lie, highlight menu. Oh, okay. I guess. Okay, this is how I move. Okay. Um, let's. I just want to make the volume. There we go. Just a little bit lower so you can hear me. So, in the train station, they're waiting for me. Where's that at? Is that up here? There's no way I can negotiate with these people if I don't have a cigarette first. And I don't want to start the conversation of a note of why I started smoking. You can smoke in the rain like every other female, Sarah. Even though you already had something like a half pack of today. Okay, yeah. Concealed chain smoking. Press X. Alright. I've had the cigarette. There's an ashtray over there by the corner. And use the restroom to try and mask it as best I can. I need to smoke and then cover it up. There's an ashtray over there by the crosswalk and a washroom down the alley. Okay, here I go. If they don't knock the never-ending construction of the city someday, I'm leaving someday. I'll move to Vancouver. I swear to God, I'll move to Montreal. I'll move to Hamilton. I've heard they have a lot of good bands now. Alrighty, so let's go back up. She said there's an ashtray over by... Is this it? Is this the ashtray? Is this the one she was talking about? You know what they say, the only way to quitting is to have one. Snow on the ground, rain in the sky, heat in the night. We figured they were lying on how this kind of climate would change a take. And then it turns out it would even be the worst pessimist. It wasn't half as bad as it already was. Who knows? Maybe this cigarette wasn't the least toxic thing I've inhaled all day. Still, if I could quit, I would. Too bad you only feel bad when it stops feeling good. Maybe the attitude of little piece is what happening to everything. Okay. Fuck it. I didn't even want this. I'm just delaying the inevitable. I have to tell them the truth. Tonight is the night. Okay, tonight is the night for what? Where are we going? Sarah, you're scaring me. I don't know where we're going. I need to smoke and then cover it up. There's an ashtray over there by the crosswalk. Where? And then a washroom down the alley. Well, you already... This is the alley. Here's the frickin'... I've got a toothbrush, perfume, gum. This should do it. Or at least well enough to say it was a second hand. The thought of someone actually using one of these toilets is unimaginable. Oh, I bet. God, I have to quit. Look at my fingers, my teeth. The real reason why they try to hook you so young is that it can happen for the capable of imagining what it looks like shit would look like. Oh, I guess I'm blow drying my hands now. Okay. Alright, I think I'm good. Okay, now what do I have to go this way, I guess? I need to smoke and then cover it up. There's an ashtray over there by the crosswalk and a washroom down that alley. I already went to the washroom. I already covered everything up. Well, how many times do I have to go to the washroom? Another one? No, I didn't even want the last one. Okay. Okay, this is like the third time I'm brushing my teeth and drying my hands. Sorry guys, I am really, really confused at what's going on right now. Can I go here? Oh, that's where I guess I go. Okay, never mind. Oh, I'm in a car now. Before you know it. By Sarah Stone. Oh, did she write a book? before you know it, you feel like you're right back where you started. Back home, back to childhood, back to depending on people who should be depending on you. And you're so defined by what you're not. Never married, never successful, never belonging anywhere or to anything that you don't even know who you are. Still, it's strange to see what past would feel like to the point of no return and still so far from the end. Oh, okay. Thanks for coming to get me. You were working late. Yes, that's what happens. If they don't, somebody else will. Everyone works late now. Yeah, big project. They can't really trust too many people with it. Oh, that must be your parents. I understand that I broke the chain. That without creating a future for it, even the closest family will eventually run out of things to talk about. I ask a question about some distant relative or a restaurant we haven't been able to in a long time, or just to break up the rhythm of the rain. But I don't really care, and I don't really think that they believe I do. The saddest thing, though, is that I think I used to at least a bit. You just don't see the point. I mean, what does this have to do with you? Literally nothing that goes around you has anything to do with you at all. You're just a sack of shit dragging yourself from one day to the next. Geez, she's deep. Darn. What could you say even about anything that would make you look like a fool? But still, you have to say something, even if it means pretending to be somebody you used to be, in order to hide how you no longer feel like you're anybody at all now. Jeez. So I'm guessing she's either depressed. What are your plans for the weekend? Find interest in own life. This is a very interesting game, guys. I like the art style of it. Sorry, what? The weekend. What are you doing? Oh, sleeping and eating. Yeah, that would be me. I would be doing that on the weekend. Watching movies I've seen a zillion times. Promise to meet up with people and then never get dressed. See movies. I'll probably get coffee with Claire and Steve. I'm pretty tired though. You know, you're a loser when basic questions about what you were doing on the weekend feel like a humiliating interrogation. Oh, she's thinking to herself. Well, maybe you should go somewhere new, meet some new people. I have nothing in common with people younger than me. I'm embarrassed to be around people my own age, and everyone else weirds me the fuck out. Yeah, you're right. I should see if anything's going on in the city. That's not what I said. I really miss going to concerts. Apparently, she missed going to concerts. Sometimes we pull up into a crowded intersection. I'll look over and see another 38-year-old woman, one who isn't sitting in the back seat of a car driven by her elderly parents. She seems powerful, yelling and waving her arms at somebody at some kind of conference call, or dressed up looking like she's heading out for the night, or listening to her kids and tell what they did at school. But as soon as she looks back, I look away. I don't want to see the type of person I wish I could be. Seeing me, wish I could be them. Oh, that must be your parent. Oh. And the worst of all, it's how the space and the silence should get my life filled with guilt instead. I hate when you're on a car ride with your parents and like no one's talking, so you don't know what to do and you don't have headphones or anything, so you're just like staring out the window and you're like, what do I do? Oh, I hate that. Filled with the unspoken sound of how much they've done for me, how much they sacrificed so I could be somebody, and here I am. And sure, I could tell you I love them for it, but what would it matter if I did? There isn't a single thing my love can do. I won't survive without my parents, but at least they're the only people who care if I'm alive. You can't even have less to lose than that. That's true. That's true. What did you do today, Sarah? Helpless. They treat me like I'm helpless, and I couldn't contradict if I went into I'm starving. Oh, she's talking about her parents now. Okay, they treat her like she's helpless, and I couldn't contradict them if I wanted to. I'm starving. I'll go with the starving one. I had a salad. Oh, what did you have with chicken and a granola bar? Well, we have leftovers if you want. All right, maybe a bit. She's gonna devour those leftovers. She's starving. This is such a cute little game. Oh. Sarah? Hold on a sec. What the frick just happened? Oh, are they home? The way he said that, does he know? Could he know? Is something wrong? We need to talk. Uh-oh. Mom, a relapse, but she seemed fine. She was never fine when it came back. My sister, it must be my sister. Dad, stop being a cryptic. Just tell me. Your mother is worried. About what? What happened to her this time? The way he exhales now, the moment he even thinks about her. Your sister is beyond worried about Sarah. Mom is worried about you. Jesus Christ, I knew he would think it was a relapse. He always does this, say half of something, and pretends it's just his personality. I'm fine. She thinks you work too much. She thinks I'm a lesbian, or too much of a slut to be taken seriously, or not enough to find someone to date in the first place. Her parents seem very hard on her. I don't know what that means. It means she wants you to be happy, that your happiness is more important to her than anything else. And she's dying. This girl's like a Debbie Downer. The one thing said always, it's with all the weight it carries. I'm trying. And your sister, you know she's gonna need your help, and you know it won't be easy. If you had someone to turn to when things got tough with her, it might make all the difference. He always says this, knowing I'll defend her. He wants to hear somebody do it, even if he feels like he can't. I'll give him what he wants. She doesn't need me as much as you think she does. She's more capable of it, you know. She is. You've always just been like me. You're strong, you don't complain, and you've never been afraid of responsibility. But sometimes I think you can't see that there's more than strong than being on your own. This has got to be about something more than my romantic life, but what? And why now? Yeah, it's got to be more than that. What you don't see is that I would never have been strong enough to take care of anything without your mother, or your sister, or you. I know it makes it seem that way. It isn't way at all. It's family, Sarah. Family. Anyway, I think that's what your mother wanted you to know. Is that it? I couldn't tell by the way he locked eyes with me in the rearview mirror. Was it intimidation, fear, pity? It's hard to read your parents as people. You don't want to do it. No matter how old you get, you want to believe nothing could shake them. That's true. No, that isn't it. Oh, jeez. I have to tell you something important, and I don't want you to say anything about it to your mom. Not yet. Cancer. That's what got his mom. Heart failure, grandpa, Alzheimer's, runs it all through the family. Alzheimer's? Just tell me. We can't afford to take care of your sister anymore. Uh-oh. What did she do? It isn't just her. The medication costs her mom, they just keep going up. What else did they put her on? I don't even know anymore. Between the two of them, it's a mountain. And are they even helping? Is there even any point? Not that you can just ask that. I'm sure they're helping if the doctors say so. We'll get through it. So everything I choose, it'll show up in red, and it actually is like the opposite of what I just said. Your sister doesn't listen to me, Sarah. At the very least, I need your help to stop buying her whatever it feels like off the internet. I'm not trying to pit you against her, but if she doesn't knock it off, we won't have any choice but to start charging you rent. It's the last thing I want to do. I know you're working your tail off trying to get your life back on track, but things are that serious. And maybe if you can put her like that, she'll know how hard you're working to rebuild. Maybe some of that attitude will rub off on her. Maybe. I mean it, Sarah. You've done everything you could despite how tough things are out there. I know how much it has to hurt to move home and rent on your condo. I sold the condo. I was renting it myself with a roommate you never met until I could afford to do that anymore. I don't miss it. I was lonely there. But you still own it. And this is still Toronto. Oh, I must be in Toronto. Okay. And you still got the equity of the down payment plus all those years you paid the mortgage. I borrowed again. I borrowed all of that equity years ago, not to mention how much of a profit I had used to sell it, all of which was long, long gone. I'll do this one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the appreciation is still going strong. I checked a while ago. I think about all these kids your age when I read about it in the paper. The ones who did not save but got buried under the mountains of debt that should have never been taken in the first place. I owe $8,000 in income tax, $3,000 freelance sales tax I never remitted. Let's go with this one. Yeah, it isn't worth to pay all that interest anyways. Exactly, and we've been paying your sister's nonsense for years, but not once have you come to borrow anything. That's what I was gonna do tonight, because I'm officially at the end of my very rope. The only thing I ever had was too much pride to tell you. I couldn't live with myself if I screwed up your retirement. You and Mom work so hard for everything you have. So have you. You get up in the morning, you get dressed, and you do it. You do the work. I know why they never appreciated the way they should, but they will. You're too good to ignore. I lost my job 6 months ago. Aww. I sit at a Path cafe all day dressed for interviews. Jobs with hundreds of applicants are far more exploitable. As long as I'm getting paid something, I can manage. Being noticed isn't always the best thing for though. Well, if they don't come around, somebody else will, and I'm hoping that your sister will too. She needs more than anybody. I can't help her, I can't help you, I can't help anyone. I'll do my best. You always have. Geez, that was really, really long. I'm proud of you, Sarah. Aww. It's always that one last line that hits you in your feels. She's either gonna start crying, or I don't know what she's gonna start to do. The Little Red Lie. Finally, we actually get into it. That's actually the name of the game today. Before your blames out over some attractive upper middle class white woman just because you would fuck her brains out, I was thinking, what? Maybe we could take a moment to talk to things that she told you. Oh, hello. Okay. The real talk. I guess I'm at a convention or something to talk about the things that they will never will tell you. The Money. Ooh, The Money by Arthur Fox. I thought it was The Real Talk. Okay, whatever. You know her. Overeducated, unemployed, bridging to 40 with no real prospects, no real anything. And then, one day, a bill finally arrives that cannot be paid, one of which the family never made her feel inevitable all her life and no longer bear. And then it all falls down. It comes with self-pity, the woe is me, the toxic dicasonic belief that there's even to be had a shot, you never had a chance. But let me ask you something. Were you this person 5 years ago? I'll tell you where you were. That's true. They were pretending they never saw it coming. They were racking up debt, desperately hoping to never try to lose the imaginary face of Kumbacha, slipping celebrities. 10 years ago, they were blowing every cent they made or could borrow and serving service to a hashtag. Shoes, travel, asinine brushes. 15 years ago, forget it. Laughing up in the hollow hallways of higher learning, acting if there was something smart enough to get a degree in anthropology, but that's not smart enough to know they were digging up their own graves. And now they want the world to feel sorry for them. So they won't tell you about they really come from. They won't tell you about the safety net that still sits secretly beneath them. They won't tell you how they did it for themselves. But the past is the past. Nobody can run from it forever. And the numbers don't lie. Even if they can't deny their guilt, once you throw their mimosa tabs and aluminum laptops in their faces, they would still say it wasn't their fault, that they didn't know better. That they still would say that they told their whole lives, but they did what they were supposed to do, and then it would end up safe and sound. But who are the people who said this? When did the so-called speech they gave? When did this happen? Who wrote it down? What did it say? They do not exist. It doesn't exist. And I don't know about you folks, but I don't feel sorry for them. And since you wouldn't be in this room unless you were a little bit like her, I'm gonna have to say it. I don't feel sorry for you. Jeez. But we don't need to feel sorry for ourselves. We don't need to feel anything. What we need to do is stop talking, stop complaining, and actually do something about the mess we're in. And tonight, that is exactly what we were going to do. Manipulating the desperate and unemployed. Okay. Seems like a family wishing crowd tonight. Lots of sad single people. I'll swap things around, and it seems like a party of the grand finale. Okay, so I think I'm actually gonna leave this episode here. We were getting a little into the game and stuff like that. It seems like it's about I'm actually, guys, to be honest, I'm really confused about what this game is about. So far, this girl, she lost everything and she told her parents to come pick her up, but she doesn't want to tell her parents, like, hey, I've been living on the street for like how many things. I lost my job. I don't really have a place anymore, and she feels too much pride that her parents have on her that she doesn't want to say it anymore. So I'm gonna leave this episode here. Hopefully you guys like this video. Um, and I saw that you guys were liking the Slime Rancher, so I will be posting most of those videos probably later today. Tell me if there's anything that you would like more to see, more videos or something like that, or a specific kind of game that you would like to see. So I'll put the Slime Rancher one down in the description below so you guys can go check that out. And I will see you all later and have a great day, guys. Bye.